Yeah. Live and direct from the new planet Earth, where pandemics are plenty, but the girls are still pretty in fashionable dresses. You know what I'm talking about. Where ignorance is bliss, and you ain't gotta give a about no code.
Tell me who unleashed our animal instinct. Why the op standing there tickle pink? Have a drink, no more liquor. Got a poison. One thicker, one gangster, one hole in the desert for the snitch. What happened to the cold? What's this?
Welcome back to another edition of the Franchise Podcast. I'm Joe Arrigo. With me is my partner in crime, TQ. And Nyshawn is not with us this week. She's out on a mission.
Nyshawn is actually distraught. She was on Tinder and she got catfished. And listen,
What?
I'm gonna say something to you guys, all right? Stop with the catfishing, okay? Got my little sister at home. She can't even do the show today. It's very upsetting. She thought this was the one. Psh. All right, we can go ahead.
Why are you putting the girl's business out there like that?
It bugged me. It bothered me. You know what I'm saying? I hate to see her like that.
All right, check it out. Well, let's get on to some of the subjects. We have high school football in the Valley kicking off this week. We have UNLV football getting ready for their opening game against Houston. We also have some Raider news, where we were at camp just a week ago. But first, let's get started with the Olympics. All right, Squeeze, the Olympics games took place. And I like the uniform you got.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm representing.
That hat
I
is
hated
fresh.
to see it go, man. You know, check me out on the back, though. My back slick.
Oh, I like that.
Back. Yeah, hat to the back. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
Yeah.
But-
Shouts out to New Era. Shouts out to Nike. Thanks for the love. Feel me? Didn't get you nothing, though.
Yeah. See how I get treated on the show?
Listen, man, it was a great Paris 2024. I enjoyed myself thoroughly. I got Olympic spirit. You know what I'm saying? With all of the trash that happens in our country, it's nice to have a chance for us to all be on the same page, watching somebody swim or run or play volleyball.
No,
you know
wait.
what I'm saying?
Wait, hold on.
I like that, man.
Not everybody was on the same page.
What do you mean?
That men's relay team still can't pass a baton.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was disappointing, man. That was disappointing. Like, they had the chance of a lifetime
For the second time.
and they just went out there and laid an egg. But leave it up to you. All the great things we saw at Paris 2024, and you start off the conversation with that.
Of course, because why you want to start slow and then with a bang.
Man, come on, man.
So let's talk about it right now. You're wearing an Asia Wilson USA Olympic t-shirt.
You better believe
The
it.
queen of the WNBA, the best player in the world,
On the planet.
who led the women's team USA to a gold medal and their 61st straight win, was started way back in 1992. So this Olympic, I came away looking at this team, in all honesty, like they were the best team on the court at all times.
Yes.
And they bought into their coach's defensive philosophy after their
100%.
loss to the All-Star team, WNBA All-Star team.
Mm-hmm.
But it also, to me, was a showcase of the aces. Not just Asia, but Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young. Jackie showed why this was her coming out party at the Olympics. She showed why she's so valuable to the aces.
Agreed.
And she came out the last 2 or 3 games for Team USA and really had a hell of an Olympics.
I mean, that's just a murderer's row, man. That's a formidable team. So, like, you got to tip your hats off to France for competing the way that they did, all the way to the end like that. You know, it's a testament to the power of pro basketball around the world, right? I've been doing a lot of going back and forth with, you know, I got a bunch of friends overseas. Mm-hmm. So they look at us like we should be ashamed of ourselves for being proud of winning the gold medal against or beating Serbia. So I was pumped up. I was gassed up when we beat Serbia, right?
You're talking about the men's.
I'm talking about the men's, yes. And I caught some of the same after the women's game with France playing so close. But like, bro, I've been traveling all of my adult life, man. David Stern was on a mission to grow NBA basketball into a global phenomenon. he had some ambassadors that helped him do it. He had Dikembe Mutombo. He had Yao Ming. He had Kobe Bryant, Tony Parker. What's my man from Dallas?
Dirk Nowitzki.
Dirk Nowitzki.
The man who globalized it, Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
There we go. So like, you could see this swell. This swell has been happening since I first went to Europe. I think it was like 1997, and you could see that this thing was starting to happen. Like the rest of the world is football crazy, soccer, right? But it's just like over here. It's only so many spots on the soccer team. It's only so many soccer teams. I think basketball intrigued a lot of people in Europe and Asia when they were young, watching the people that I was just talking about, and it grew the sport to what it is now. So now you got some ballers. Like, I don't think that there's been a tournament in the Olympics where, both on the men's side and the women's side, there's so many players in our league representing other teams.
Yeah, I think one of the things interesting about basketball in general, it is more affordable than any sport. All you need is a ball.
Fact.
You can put up a peach bucket
Absolutely.
or a milk carton,
Very accessible,
or whatever.
easy game to make happen.
Exactly. So I think there's that side of it. But back to the women's team, you know, France, and I forget her name offhand, but if her foot wasn't on, her toe wasn't on the line,
Yeah.
we're heading into OT. I thought the
That
team.
was Gabby Williams, wasn't it? Or
No,
was it the other
Gabby
girl?
hit the free throws.
Okay,
yeah.
right.
For me, the team that gave them the most problems up until France, and I think it's because they played so physical, was Belgium.
Yeah.
You know, I watched that game prior to getting down for Raiders camp, and I was impressed with the size and physicality of Belgium, but also because of the way they were shooting the ball.
Yeah.
Their big women were shooting the ball well.
Yeah.
So they were a matchup problem for Team USA. But the thing about Team USA that I loved with this whole tournament was the way they came out and played defense. Like, it goes back to playing defense. They went out there and bought into the system. Nobody was bigger than the team. And then I seen a cool picture. After I wrote the gold medal article, right? And I was trying to find pictures, and there's a picture of Asia Wilson and Breanna Stewart. And there's a side-by-side of a picture of them years ago holding up gold medals for the first time, and now they're doing it again. It was like full circle. Stewie showed why she's the next best basketball player in the whole world.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to see that 61-game winning streak continue, because the women showed that they are the most dominant women in basketball in the world, period.
Yeah, for sure. I think that France played a perfect basketball game. I don't know if I'm not taking anything away from them, because I'm a bunch of WNBA players too, and just pro ball players in general. But I think that they really rose up for this game against the U.S. They played their hearts out. But I'm still gonna say the U.S. team beats them 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. It's funny you said defense. Like, I would always get into conversations overseas with them about basketball, and I say, y'all never gonna beat us because you don't play defense like we do. But I see that's changing. That is absolutely changing. It's getting closer and closer, and I really don't think that there's nothing we can do about it, because, like I said, the game is a big deal now. Just like you said, it doesn't take much to play, and kids start early, right? Overseas, all of the regulations and rules that amateur age stuff in the U.S. with the NCAA and everything else, they don't have that over there.
Right.
Kids can play pro ball. And when you get somebody like a Luka, you know, playing in Spain with grown men for years when he was a kid, like, you can't replicate that type of experience. So they come to the league, they come fundamentally ready, they come being able to, a lot of times, overcome something that they don't have athletically, with the ability to shoot or the ability to play make. But now even that's changing. got freaks, man. That man Wemby played the game of his life, bro.
Well, I know I want to stay on the win for one last bit, just because I think your globalization, right? France, Belgium, Nigeria.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, the Nigerian coach. Hey, I'm proud of you, girl. Man, the Nigerian coach, dressed for success. You know, but they're players. They're players
indeed.
too. They played tough, and that game was, the score was a little more closer than what the game actually was, due to a shot being made, and then Kalea Cooper got upset with the girl. She nailed a free throw. But overall, Nigeria was another team that you didn't expect them to come out and be as good as they were. And the same can be said for the men's side with the South Sudan. What Luol Deng, who's funding that out of his own pocket, out of his NBA career, that program in itself is only it's less than 7 years old.
They don't even have an indoor arena.
No.
Crazy, man.
And the way they played Team USA in early rounds, and then even in the Olympic round, like, you got to give them credit. Those guys are out there balling. They gave Team USA fits early on. So with the men, I took a couple things away. One, at some point in the very near future, Steph Curry and LeBron James are going to team up to play together. This was organized tampering period for LeBron. And I think at some point in the next, maybe this season or early for sure by the season after, I think Steph Curry's going to be a Laker in some way, because the Lakers are more poised to win a title right now than the Warriors. And the second thing is, Anthony Edwards is the face of USA basketball going forward. He was the players were deferring to him at times early in the tournament. KD, LeBron, Steph, they all okay, this kid's got that it factor. And I think going forward, we're going to be in good shape. But the men made things a little too close, a few of those games, especially against Serbia, like you said earlier. But they pulled away, they pulled out a gold medal. And I don't know if I'm happy for everybody on that team. That last shot Steph Curry hit between the two people and threw it up, the most insane shot of the Olympics, maybe in the last 10, 15 years that I've ever seen somebody hit.
I mean, the only thing wrong with it is that we were ahead. I don't think it'll go down as big as I wanted it to go down, because we weren't behind. Like, if those shots would have brought us from behind, I mean, this performance, the end of this performance overshadowed the performance against Serbia.
Yeah.
He put us on his back against Serbia and brought us back. So, I feel like Steph was already solidified. Listen, man, all y'all haters, you can't do nothing with LeBron James. Can't do nothing with LeBron James. He is inching and creeping up. Whatever happens this next 2 years, he's hot on Michael Jordan's ass right now, bro. You don't hear me saying that at all. But, bro, to be able to perform like that at this age, I was saying it all during the season, and I'm saying it again. Like, you can still see, like, nobody on the bench is feeling like LeBron is an old man. When it gets tough, they are all looking at the king to see what is the king gonna do for us. And he always comes through with something. Hats off to Bron, but got a bold statement.
Here we go.
Got a bold prediction.
Oh, Lordy.
You ain't gonna like it. I don't like it. LA 2028. You see the Kobe logo in the A?
Yeah.
You seen the logo? Huh. LA 2028. Victor Wembanyama goes home. The gold medal. And he beats the U.S. to do it. Here's my theory. The three guys that are passing the torch right now. Steph, number one. They have created a type of basketball that has taken over the NBA. That type of basketball is not good basketball for FIBA. It's not good international basketball. It can be beat. You know why? Because all the young kids that are trying to be Steph and LeBron and KD, they aren't as good as Steph and LeBron and KD at being Steph, LeBron, and KD. And that's the issue. Victor Wembanyama is the man.
Look, man, I'm Team USA till I die. So I don't think that's.
So
gonna
well, I
happen.
mean, wait.
See,
wait.
you're switching
So somebody
up.
just
you're
somebody just
switching
said
up and going
I'm
to
not
Wembanyama.
Team USA. All
Hey,
of
you're
a sudden.
picking Wembanyama to win a gold in 4 years. I'm not. Who's to say he's even going to have that type of career in 4 years? You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, next
I gave
year.
my pick. I said what I said.
Okay. Well, here's my question about the Olympics in LA. And I was thinking about this when we were down there at Raiders training camp. Where are they going to have the opening ceremonies? Is it going to be at the Coliseum, which I think it should be, or is it going to be SoFi? Because I heard it's going to be at SoFi, or will it be a mixture of both?
I don't know. You know what? I would think they should do it at the Coliseum. If they don't do it at the Coliseum, they got to do track and field at the Coliseum.
They have to.
They have to do track and field at the Coliseum. I've heard that
From sources.
swimming is going to happen at SoFi.
Yeah.
And I've heard that something else was going to happen there too.
I knew it was swimming. I don't know.
Something else.
But I'll tell you where I was frustrated at with the Olympics and Team USA. Not basketball. Breakdancing. How the hell did we lose that breakdancing? Something we invented at the Olympics.
Man, listen, man.
And they played some horrible music. They were playing, I would have came out to like old school Egyptian Lover, Planet Rock, the essence of hip hop. Right? And our guys, our dude, I think he went for the bronze. Victor was his name. I liked his backstory. Great backstory.
It's just like basketball, man. Like Americans don't understand what's happening in the rest of the world. Like, I get it. I understand why we are the way we are. Like, it's so much happening here. We don't really care about everything else. I get it. But if you're in a position where you end up having to travel around the world, or you decide and want to travel around the world, you will recognize how big the world is. Like, we may have started a custom. That custom has been taken and flipped over 100 times. Like, yo, Japan, breakdancing is crazier than it's ever been here.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, it's not something that we, it's like it's out of style for us. It came and it went. Over there, it came and it stayed. So, it's a culture, man. But I will say this much, it will not be back. The Olympics.
It was one and done?
LA, it was one and done. The whole city gets to pick, I want to say 3 or 4 sports that they want to add.
Really?
That they want to take away.
I didn't know that.
If you don't go for 3 Olympics in a row with a sport,
It doesn't
it's
come
not
back.
considered an Olympic sport. Now, if it's been there for 3 in a row, that whole city can't remove it.
What do you know the other two?
Yeah, they're adding flag football.
And baseball's
and
coming back.
Cricket. I don't know if it's baseball.
Yeah, baseball is coming back in the 2028 games. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the 4th. I know it's flag football. I know it's cricket, and it's some other game. Lacrosse.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see those being Olympic sports.
Yeah.
Breakdancing, like,
Yeah, this breakdancing is out.
I tell you
what,
what-
while it lasted. Peace.
I tell you what was also cool, the
What?
shooting.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Now me, if I was the Olympic guy, I would get some hood dude that's a sharpshooter and be like, hey man, go handle your business. That's the way I would have ran. I wouldn't have. And he had that dude from, I think he was the Ukraine or Serbia. Everybody's wearing glasses and they're marking their stuff. This guy just is out there like,
Quack, quack.
And
Like it was nothing. Yeah. Track and field, man. Like, boy. 400 runners, man. We had some sick ones.
yes.
Getting around that track, bro.
Yes.
I mean, do you know how hard I don't think people really understand. Like, I mean, I guess you can look at their bodies and tell the level of like
Fitness.
discipline that you just have to be in that type of shape. But like to run around a whole track that fast and not run out of gas is a feat, man. And like America really performed. And even the long distance runner, I forgot the guy's name who just waited to the end of every race to just soak people up. Like, it was good, man. I enjoyed this Olympics. U.S. performed. I think we ended up tying with China for gold.
40 goals each, but we had the most. We had
Overall
40
goals.
goals, like 40 or 41 silver, and like 42 or 43 bronze.
Yes, I mean, we did our thing as we normally do. Shouts out to all the athletes that went over and did their thing. Shouts out to our franchise sports media athletes, Bron James, Anthony Davis, Asia Wilson, Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, and Kelsey Plum. We congratulate y'all for going over there, handling your business, getting back home safe. Now, Aces, we got business to take care of. 3P.
Well, some team that's just trying to get their season kicked off, and the place where we were at last week, Costa Mesa, is the Las Vegas Raiders, and we're about to get into that right now.
This section was brought to you by Coldwell Banker Premier Realty. Coldwell Banker is a service-driven, highly productive team of professional sales and support people who are dedicated to consistently providing superior real estate brokerage and related services, setting the industry standard of value and excellence.
All right, Squeeze. You, me, Trish, down in Costa Mesa for 3 days last week. Got to Raider camp, seen some things, got some opinions. The Raiders played the Vikings over the weekend, lost a heartbreaker. Let's go back to camp. What were some things that stuck out to you about what happened in Costa Mesa?
So I kind of left with a mixed bag because I don't want to be thinking and talking with my heart as opposed to seeing what I see with my eyes and my brain, right? The defense was flying all over the place. We expected them to be good because they were good last year after AP took over. But then offense made some mistakes. And I'm wondering if the defense looked so good because the offense was a bit porous. Now, I will say there's a quarterback battle, and you don't have your starting left tackle, and you got to put up with Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins and Kuntz and all the rest of them boys over and over again. You're not going to have consistently good practices as an offense, right? So I will say that much. That being said, Jack looks like the truth.
Took the word out. I was going to say one of the things that I took away was the Raiders have a legitimate number one corner in Jack Jones.
Absolutely.
Him coming to the Raiders was a godsend for his career and a godsend for the Raiders.
Yes, agreed.
And I couldn't be happier for Jack. The other thing I took away, I had two other things. One, Dylan Lobby.
Yeah.
I
How do you
like
say
him.
his name? Is it Lobby?
I think so.
Okay. I heard it pronounced 5 different ways at camp.
I said to you at practice, I said, hey, there's the poor man's Christian McCaffrey. Whoa, that's look.
Yeah, slow down.
A couple minutes later, or a day later, he's like, okay.
Yeah.
But what I noticed
good.
is he is like locked into the playbook, locked into the team. There's no fooling around with him, at least during practice. And the other thing I took away is I think Gardner Minshew is a sliver or two ahead of Aiden O'Connell. I think his mobility is one of the things that sets him apart in this quarterback competition. He's been a little more consistent than O'Connell. But the other thing is an old adage that as a football coach, that you hear a lot, and it gets said to you, if you think you got 2 quarterbacks, you ain't got 1.
Yeah. That was I would say, the overwhelming issue, for lack of a better word, at camp for me. It's just the inconsistency at that position. Again, I got to give them both that small caveat of not having Colt Miller there and available up against that defense. But at the same time, man, I just feel like we're going to lack some accuracy. And with the type of receiving core and their abilities to run routes on time, if if you ain't putting the ball where it's supposed to be, man, you're gonna get them lit up.
Yeah.
And that, that's a problem. That being said, I am, I need to see more from big number 9. Like,
Oh, Brock Bowers.
no, not Brock. I mean, Tyree Wilson.
Oh, Tyree Wilson. I'm thinking 89. My
Yeah,
bad.
no,
My bad.
I need to see more out of him, man. He's such a big dude, and he looks like he's so like light on his feet. Looks so athletic, but just not. I didn't see him making as much noise as I wanted to see. That being said, that defensive line is going to be a problem for most of the teams that they see. I just hope that they're not worn down by the fourth quarter, being on the field for too long.
The thing I want to see more out of Wilson is him getting off the ball
Exactly.
faster. He can't. That was one of the things that was a big reason why they drafted him so high, because he had a big get off,
Yeah.
and we haven't seen that.
It
Later
almost
in the
looks
year,
like he's just taking it easy. Like he's not injured or anything. That foot from last year, is it all right? Is it cool? Or
yeah,
has it
but
been
I
told,
think
or like-
maybe he's tentative with it. Maybe he's been, but I don't think he has time for that. The other thing, and I want to make this clear about the quarterbacks. Gardner Minshew's a gamer. Like, he practices whatever. You get into a game, he's going to make something happen. And I'm giving O'Connell that same type of latitude as well. Like, on Saturday against Minnesota in their first preseason game, that first drive, he looked
Yeah.
good.
He was snappy.
He looked good. Now, he didn't have to move his feet a lot. And I think that's where the problem lies. He is a stone man back there as a quarterback. He's not a guy who can get out and make guys miss and slide throughout the pocket. He's got to stand there. Where I think that's where Minshew has a bigger, an easier time, and that's where kind of his hay is at.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Minshew looked like a man out there against the Vikings on Saturday as well. So,
Yeah.
I've taken away that, this week I fully expect Gardner Minshew to get the start, since Aiden O'Connell got the start last week. And I think by sometime next week, we'll know who the Raiders starting quarterback is going into week 1. But, they get Devontae Adams back, who, by the way, Devontae, congratulations to you and your family on the birthday of your son. Happy for you, brother. And, Tucker.
Yeah.
He was having a tough Costa Mesa, but again, game time come, the light switch went on. The Raiders, I think we have one of two possibilities for the season. I didn't even tell you this. I think we have one or two. I think one, if they start off super slow, the season's going to come off the rails real quick, and I think that could be a problem. On the other side, which I think is more likely to happen, I think they get off to a really good start, and there could be a potential move in the making that no one's really talked about, because I think the Raiders are only a couple players away from being a Super Bowl contender.
That's a very important position. One of those 2 players away.
One or two.
Look, man, like, I'm going to say this. I have been calling for a defense with a platoonable defensive line, right? I believe that is the key to winning championships. I believe that's the key to sustain playoff runs and being in contention. I think the Raiders have finally done that. Should they stay healthy on all 3 levels, I think that they have competitors that know the system that they're in, number one. Nobody's running around out there lost. But the game and the preseason itself, maybe up until they get to the Niners last, right? That's the last preseason game.
August 23rd.
I mean, I feel like the Raiders at practice, the offense is going to be up against a better defense than they're playing in the preseason. So it didn't really impress me, the drives that they had against Minnesota, because I didn't see them doing that against their own defense.
And it's Minnesota.
And so I mean, they do have some dogs, but at the same time, like, I'm fully expecting. I think training camp did solidify what I thought, that I believe this defense was good last year and they're going to be better this year by leaps and bounds.
Well,
And wait, the other side of that cornerback unit don't look too bad either.
okay, I'm glad you see. I'm glad you brought Jacorian Bennett.
Man, listen.
Last year, he tested. He a lot like their third round pick this year. Tested out. The only thing that held him back is he's grabby as a corner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Still, that's a great play in the preseason game, knocking the ball away in the end zone. Still was a little grabby on it, but still, he's a guy that can turn and run with anybody. Him, Jack, Hobbs, and then Richardson, the Corian Richardson. The Raiders have 4 corners there that can get out and go. And a name that you guys are going to hear me talk about all year, and it's not even a player, but you were standing next to me when he was talking to Philip Epps. Gerald Alexander, the safety coach. His coaching style, the way he simplifies it, communicates, and breaks it down is unlike anybody I've seen in a very long time. He's a future head coach. He almost got the Boise State job, truth be told.
I believe he got a couple of future head coaches on that staff. Some of those younger guys. I can't believe this running back room. This running back room looks great to me. I thought that we was going to lose a lot. We were going to miss a lot by not having Josh. That's still my biggest regret, because I'm looking at him added to what we have right now. But I feel like it's going to be a running back by committee, which I'm fine with, because I feel like this offense is going to pound the rock. They're going to have to pound the rock. So we need 3 or 4 of them healthy. But Cadillac out there coaching them, bro.
Man. And he got the full beard. He don't got the chin strap beard no more. He grew the whole thing, and nice and groomed too. Cadillac, good looking, bro.
I'm loving this defense. I'm loving this coaching staff. I think the Raiders are a couple of years away. I would love for it to be another hole as opposed to at the quarterback position, because the receiving core, man.
Let me ask you a question.
Receiving core, man for man, is just formidable, bro. The ability to run routes, the football knowledge, to have Tay in the room to just watch how to be great. Man, I just wish we could solidify this quarterback situation.
So let me ask you a question. And I'm going to ask it to you guys out there too. Let's just say hypothetically, right? Talk to some people leaving Raiders practice, going back to my grandmother's, right? It's a good 45 to an hour-minute drive. Mm-hmm. Get on the phone with people. You have conversations.
Insider talk?
A little bit. People that know. What if I told you that one of the things in league circles that's being talked about behind closed doors is the Raiders and the Rams possibly linking up for a trade? Now, what was told to me was if the Raiders get off to a decent start, let's say 500 or a little bit, let's say 4-3, 3-3, 4-3 type deal, but they know they're a quarterback away, because that's what they really are. They're a couple players pieces away, but quarterback being the most important piece. What if they had the opportunity to potentially trade for Matthew Stafford, who isn't exactly on the greatest terms with Les Snead, the Rams general manager?
Trade who?
The rumor I heard was one of the quarterbacks and a pick or two to the Rams for Stafford, but
in a Minnesota minute.
But they would have to compensate Stafford with a new deal that would pay him Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, Tua Tagovailoa money for 3 or 4 years. Now the Raiders have like the 5th most cap space with just shy of $30 million underneath the cap right now. So it's not like they couldn't do it. But Stafford may welcome that to go to a team that has Devontae Adams, Michael Mayer, Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers.
Man, the way I see it, Matthew Stafford would be the top draft pick in this upcoming draft, right or wrong.
At this age.
At this age, he's the best quarterback coming out right now. An upgrade on over half the quarterbacks in the league, and especially the 2 on our team. So I would take that quick. Look, you can't waste the best years of Devontae Adams' career. You got to get him somebody that can throw the ball to him. I mean, the man went from accuracy to horrible inaccuracy and getting his head blown off. So when you have, it's like I said earlier, like when you have a route runner that gifted, you got to have a quarterback, man, that understands timing and that can put the ball where it needs to be when it needs to be there. If not, you're going to get the man killed. And, like, that's my worry dealing with O'Connell and Minshew, man. Like, you're in that practice, and it's just some of the passes that, listen, a player got hurt. It wasn't one of them. It was another quarterback. I'm not going to say the name. But if that pass would have been better, I don't see that happening.
Well, the Raiders
right in front of my face.
The Raiders on Tuesday did sign the Peterman.
Yeah.
Back to probably be the third quarterback on the roster. Look,
Feel a little better about that.
You like Peterman?
I mean, I think that he has been in the league long enough to understand the role. I think he can come into a game and keep you afloat. He can do things in spurts. You know, he's a third string or a backup quarterback.
He also knows the offense because he played for Luke Getsy last year in Chicago.
Nice.
So with that, I did watch the game. I was over at Thor's house for his watch party.
Oh, did you get by here?
I did, and shout out to Cisco again for all the black hole stuff.
Shouts out, man. I'm sorry I ain't make it, man. First, he hit me in the DM, and I thought it was canceled, but I was working at the time when I saw it, and I didn't hit him right back. But then I looked back in there, man. My bad, Thor. I'm going to make the next one. I told you that the last time. I'm going to make the next one, brother.
And it was...
It's popping or what?
Man, it was
Threw
popping.
some meat on the grill or
Dog,
what?
I ain't gonna lie. Melissa, his wife, after I got there, she's like, happy to see everybody. Brother was with me.
Yeah.
Brought me. She goes, let me want to play. I said, yes, because I didn't eat all day because I wanted to go there and eat.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
she wanted them Fred
Man, it was one of
plates.
Bro, it was one of them plates that your auntie gives you when you ain't seen her in a long time at the cookout.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Oh, man.
You sat there like a glutton.
No, I didn't eat all of it. I couldn't. I was full. But I damn sure drank a lot. That is for sure.
I'm at the next one, bro, for sure.
So Raiders have a big game this weekend at the stadium. Saturday they play the Cowgirls.
The girls.
The girls are in town.
Ladies.
Oh, Lordy. All right, so what we're going to do now, we're going to get out of this, and we're going to talk about local football from many different levels. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the Franchise Podcast. Joe and TQ holding it down. Nyshawn is, well, if you missed it, go back and watch the beginning. TQ tells you.
She's at a speed dating event right now, ladies and gents.
Why you
We'll
talking like
see her
she's on
again
Hitch?
next week.
Why you
She
talking-
always on my head. She say I ought to be ashamed of myself, 50 and single or however she almost, I'm 50 and single, so I'm just go in on her. She not here to defend herself.
You're a bully.
Yes, Nyshawn is at a speed dating event at the Mandalay Bay tonight. It's up in one of the top rooms. If y'all need the information, she left me the code. Hit me in the DM, I'll give it to you.
You're crazy, man. All right, man. So this Friday, we get things kicked off with high school football. It's back in town. Our game of the week is Kahuka, coming from Hawaii, who beat St. John Bosco last year and helped Bishop Gorman get to the national title. By doing so, they play Gorman this week at Gorman, 7 p.m. at Fertitta Field at Bishop Gorman. Man, this is a season that I think there's going to be a lot of surprises. One of the things that bothers me heading into the season, though, is Gorman is the defending national champion. They're ranked number 2 in the nation by Max Preps, which I don't understand how or why with that offensive line. That defense is much improved. The running backs are killer. This Gorman team is loaded once again. They have Derek Meadows, who we seen at Media Day, and the LSU commit is legit 6'5", 210 pounds.
My goodness.
Like, this Gorman team is fully loaded to make another run. But my question to you is, what are you most excited about when it comes to having high school football back?
I'm excited about this information that you just told me today, that Gorman is ranked number 2 instead of number 1.
I didn't tell you that?
I'm happy about that. You just told me that earlier. That makes me extremely happy, because all they got to do is go down to the OC and tap on that ass in a couple of weeks, and all that'll be settled and set. And I agreed. We said it last year, that offensive line was going to be some monsters this year. I feel like that's the case. I feel like they got another national championship that they could wrap up if they stay healthy. Look, just overall, man, this is our favorite time of the year. I feel like we'll get some parity this year. Hearing that Arborview is ready to take the next step.
Man.
I'm hearing that Liberty may be taking a step back.
Who told you that?
Listen, man, I got ears in the streets, all right? You ain't the only ears. Man.
Wasn't me, Rich. I'm telling you, it wasn't me.
I'm just saying what I hear, you know? And I stay very unbiased in these conversations because of the position that I'm in on the sidelines. So, fact is, every Friday night for the next 2 months, we're going to be doing what we love to do and do best.
2 months.
And that's covering high school football all across the valley. Yeah, next 2 months.
Man, look, we got football now through January.
I mean, not high school on Friday nights.
Okay,
it ends in November.
The end of November. We're only in August.
Oh yeah, I keep thinking it's September.
Yeah.
All right, well, 3 months. Damn, bite my head off. Goodness.
That's that private school education.
For the next 3 months, we'll be on the sideline Friday nights, just like we always do. This year, we're trying to cover even more than we ever have. We're trying to do our game of the week. We're trying to do all of the rivalry games in the city for everybody. Look, here's the bottom line. We do the best we can with the resources that we have to try to showcase this city's student athletes as in the best light that we can do it. It's not easy. Like, you need manpower. You know what I'm saying? If it's left up to us, we would have a writer, we'd have a photographer or two, and a videographer at every single game in the Valley. But that ain't what it is. We have done some expanding this year. We'll be introducing you guys to the new members of our shooting crew, and we're trying to canvas the Valley as much as we possibly can on Friday nights. It's not just gonna be Gorman, it's not gonna be just Liberty. We're trying to get out to the east side, we're trying to get up north, we're trying to get all around the Valley. So
the north side, not northern Nevada, let's be clear. Okay? We don't go to the north unless Gorman plays for a natty or something up there.
North side, good point.
Yeah, come on. No, I will say this. This season, going into this season, there's 13 new head coaches around Las Vegas. Two that stand out to me. One is Marlon Burnett at Arborview. I think Arborview's got a chance to finally put it together. Matt Gerber did a great job when he was there. Took over for a legend, Coach Brunson, who's now at Losi. But what Marlon Burnett's going to bring with him bringing Sam over as his offensive line coach, there's an accountability factor, and that offense, they're going to spread you out and they're going to go. And they're going to go at tempo. We've seen it with Centennial last year when they won the 4A division title, when Marlon was their offensive coordinator. And then another school I'm interested to see, and we're for the first time in franchise history, we have a couple games of the week scheduled to go there, was Desert Pines. Coach Jose Flores, he's bringing a whole new accountability. But the thing about DP this year is they lost a lot of players. I mean, I think just about everybody that was there last year and before with the scholarship offer has transferred out, albeit it has nothing to do with Coach Flores.
Why?
It's just the nature of high school right now. There's some schools in California that have a certain way of getting kids to transfer there. Same thing with out-of-state, other out-of-state schools. NIL is not a deal that, and a transfer portal offers is not something that's just for college at this point. DP, unfortunately, has been a victim of that with all the explosive talent that they've had over there. They have a very young team. They got one of the best 8th graders going into 9th grade, linebackers, running backs that I've seen in a long time. The guy looks like a man-child.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm actually excited to go to DP this year and check them out.
Did Liberty lose a lot?
They lost some players. They lost their quarterback by Eli Espinoza, former Las Vegas High School quarterback who threw for 600 yards and 7 touchdowns in a playoff game. Yeah, he's there now.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're going to be good. I look at Palo Verde as this team that can't sneak up on people anymore. Shadow Ridge is going to be good again.
Always.
They moved back down to 5A Division II.
I respect Shadow Ridge, man. They're always competitive. They're always in it. Every year that we've covered high school football, it's just a consistent program, and they got a culture over there. I like covering them.
Yeah, Coach Foster's a good dude.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna tell you, a sleeper team is Durango. I think Durango's offense is gonna be I think Durango's gonna have a very good offense. They've got a really good young quarterback, and they got a 6'7" wide receiver that we seen last year when they played in. That was over Moss and guys. He's back for his final season. In fact, the FSN Top 10 is out on the article that we just put out. So if you don't know, Gorman, Liberty, Arborview are our top 3. Followed by Centennial, who I think has got a chance to win 5A Division III now that they moved up. Then Shadow Ridge and Desert Pines comes in at 6. So DP, I look at what you lost, and that played a big role in it. But I do believe in what Coach Flores is doing. He's an IE guy, he's an Ontario guy. A lot of dudes on the staff, from SoCal, guys that I know. So
don't try to butter it up now.
Hey, it's what it is.
Check this out, DP. Get on his head. He disrespecting y'all right now with this ranking.
No, I'm not. It's the ranking. He just likes when people get on my head like that. So that's all it is. But then Green Valley's right there, Palo, Faith Lutheran, and Foothill. So I mean, that's our top 10. If you disagree or agree, go to our Instagram page, leave some comments in there. We can have a discussion about it. And
come to the high school football page at franchisesportsmedia.com. All season long, we'll have all of the highlights there. We'll have links to the galleries. We take so many pictures of you guys. We'll have them up that Saturday for you at some point. Just come to the page, man. That's franchisesportsmedia.com/high school football.
Man, I can't wait to have so many teams in the Valley covered this year.
Yes, indeed.
That's great. So with that being said, guys, that's it for today's show. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. Put your notifications on our YouTube page, Franchise Sports Media. All social media is at The Franchise LV. Make sure you follow us there. And we'll see you next week on the Franchise Podcast.
Yeah.
Live and direct from the new planet Earth, where pandemics are plenty, but the girls are still pretty in fashionable dresses. You know what I'm talking about.